we prepared, and we had a few dry run-throughs. So we wanted to talk a little bit about ducted systems warranty. And again, this is Shanna put this together exclusively for the champion team. So again, if you have any questions, please make sure you can put those into the chat or just let us know, and the champion team will be monitoring it. So what we're going to talk about today, and Robin, jump in whenever you want, because I can just talk for hours. So
you go ahead.
We're going to talk dealer registration, product registration, warranty claim status, the publications that Robin's reviewed already, but we'll go back to that, as well as the extended warranty purchase. So everything that we're going to talk about is with Solution Navigator. So if you guys do not have access to solutionnavigator.com, please make sure you reach out to your regional account manager, or there's a delegated admin at every location. So if you are the delegated admin, you're able to create accounts for your employees. So dealers, contractors have access, and the beauty of Solution Navigator is where you guys can track if you do direct orders to us, whether that be Source One, or if you order direct from JCI, not through WSS, you can track it. All of our marketing information is in there. So whether that be any of the programs that we just talked about that Emily brought up, the extended labor warranty, or even financing, or anything that we have to offer from a marketing standpoint. The technical service information's all in there. So our TSM program, any technical literatures that are technical letters that come from tech service, all product literature, so tech data, submittals, everything for warranty, and then parts lookups. So if you're not familiar with Solution Navigator, highly recommend you getting in there. We'd be happy to do an overview for you on there as well. All right, so how do we get to Warranty Navigator? So once you're logged into Navigator, you'll click Applications and Warranty. And then we do recommend when you hover over Warranty, you'll see their general publications and warranty. Always click to save that, because it's one that we use often. It is something that is, as a local company, probably one of the most used for you guys to track warranties, to see if something is under warranty, or to file warranties. So going into Navigator, click Applications and then Warranty, and then you'll click Warranty again. And so for dealer search and registration, so once you're in there, this is really for you to see if you have a dealer registered to do warranties with your company. So this does get a little confusing sometimes if you talk to warranty and they say, what's the dealer number? We're not talking marketing numbers. This is the dealer search and registration for warranty. So this is what it looks like. This little tile will appear for dealer search and registration, and it's just making sure that we have them in the system, in the warranty system. Your distributor information will pop up automatically. So this is for you guys to set up a dealer with warranty in Navigator. So the distributor ID, that's your SAP number that is generated when you set up to do business with Johnson Controls. You get an SAP number. So every local company has their own SAP number. And if you do not know what your SAP number is, please let us know. We can get that back to you. That's how credits, how everything is tied to you as a company, co-op, your dealers, everything is tied to you by this SAP number. Then you'll put in a dealer ID. So you can put in the number that you would like to use, and then the business name, and then the contact. The brands will pop up with Champion, and you can add Guardian in there. Very, very, very important for you guys is to make sure under the distributor email is that you have the right person put in there. So if there's ever any issues with claims or anything gets sent back, it gets sent back to that distributor email address. Now, a lot of you have been in here for a long time, have been doing business with us for a couple of years. These emails may be going to an obsolete person or somebody who's no longer with the company, or somebody may have come over and started, somebody else has taken over that position. So just make sure that the distributor email is for the claims as well as for contracts is in there and accurate.
Hey,
You'll
Jess.
also, yes.
Hey, just two quick best business practices. I know a lot of times people like to use the dealer ID as their win zone number or the account number for their customer there. And then also under the distributor email, if you have like win supply orders, sometimes people like to use that so it can go to multiple people that can see it and have visibility.
Great call, Emily. A lot of the issues that we've heard over the past have been that it's gone to somebody who's maybe no longer doing warranty, and then they set a rule in the email so they all get sent to one folder, and then but then there's no communication back and forth. So you want to make sure that you have the address in there, and the address and the phone number is very important because this is what ties it all together. So the address has to be accurate for you guys, because also think this is what's going to tie them. So where we would send, if they're an extended labor warranty dealer, where we would mail a check for labor warranty. So make sure that all of this is accurate. And then you look at where the warranty plan information is. So standard rate requested per hour. So you're going to put in what you'd like to request per hour for your dealer. And then they'll go based upon market value in the area. If there's something that we need to adjust or address, just get with your regional account manager. So typically the extended warranty rate is about $10 more per hour versus the standard rate. So the standard rate would be if there was a DOA situation and it fell under the regular warranty where, within 30 days something happened, we pay labor, that's standard. But the extended warranty rate is for the extended labor plans that if, something happens in year 5, 6, 7, or 8, that's the warranty rate that they'd pay. The other thing is the tax ID number. This is very important. And this can also be a holdup sometimes. So just make sure you're going to have to put in the tax ID number. And then once you submit it, they're usually set up within 24 hours. So the other thing is you guys can see and I don't mean to read off the slide, but I just want to address this, is that Win Supply cannot be listed as the dealer. So it has to be the dealer. And then again, the address is verified with the post office. So it must be valid or the system will reject it. Questions? And I believe, Shanna, you're here.
Yeah, so sorry about that.
Okay, I'll let you take over and you tell me when to go to the next slide or if you want to share your screen. But we do have some questions that are popping in. So
okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and keep on your screen.
Okay.
And let's complete setting up the dealer and then the next screen. And then we'll take any questions on this section. Maybe we just take it by section.
Okay, go ahead.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Jessica, for going over that information. Yeah, so dealer accounts are very sensitive. A dealer should be only set up one time. If you try to create a second account, it will reject it as the account has already been created. And dealer ID should only be used one time. And like Jessica said, Win Supply should never be listed as the dealer, since you guys don't have a service department actually going out performing the work on the job. So you'll just, even if it's like a one-time customer, you just set them up. You only have to set them up one time, but you never know because they could be coming back for, parts here and there. So after setup in your account, the account's created, you can always go in and you can edit an existing dealer account. So if they changed location, maybe they changed their mailing address to a PO box. I've seen dealers have the address listed as their home address because that's where they want all the mail going. This is wherever they want the mail being sent to. So you can come in to the dealer search and registration, find the dealer account that you're looking for, open it up, and then there's a little edit button. So it will open up all the fields here. So you can fix the dealer ID if maybe it got entered incorrectly during setup. If they change their business name, and we see that sometimes if a company is getting bought out by another company. Add brands. If you see any that have an address for Milwaukee, those are old accounts that we had in our previous UPG net system, and that system didn't require an address, so it's just a temporary fill-in. And if you see one of those, we would, kindly ask that you update to get the correct dealer's account information in there. And then you can make a standard warranty dealer an extended warranty dealer. So there's just a little checkbox under the standard labor allowance rate that says make this an extended warranty dealer. It will open up a new box that says extended rate requested. That's where you'll add, generally it's $5 to $10 more per hour over their standard rate. We can't publish the rates, but I always tell people when you're dealing with labor rates, just shoot high. The system will adjust down to what's allowed and based on the state that you're in. But if you put in a low dollar value, lower than what's allowed, it's not going to bump it up. But if they're an old account and maybe they're asking for their labor rate to be increased, then you can come in here and put in their requested rate and then see what the system does with it. We do ask that if you change any information like labor or the address, if you kindly put a note in the comments box of any changes that are made. With extended warranty dealer accounts, we do get checks back in the mail if it's been undeliverable. And if we can see that, you updated the address recently, then we don't have to call asking to verify what's the correct address. We'll know that you've updated the account, everything's good. We'll put it in a new envelope and get it back out to the dealer so we're not wasting anybody's time. You can click the View Extended Warranty Terms and Conditions link. And really, being an extended warranty dealer is telling them that, these are the rules that they're going to follow. This is what we're going to pay. They are not supposed to charge the homeowner more than what the contract covers. There are things that the contract does not cover, like diagnostic, or if they have to go out on a Saturday and they charge extra. Warranty's not going to cover that, but that would maybe be a fee to the homeowner. But they're not supposed to charge any extra labor, refrigerant, or travel or part cost, saying that, oh, well, warranty just doesn't cover what we charge. They're not supposed to do that. But that is there, and you can print it out for the dealers as well, so they understand, what it means to be an extended warranty dealer. If you ever need to deactivate an account, I know that the box there is there to make a dealer status inactive. At this time, it is not working at the distributor level. So if you need to deactivate an account, just send an email to our warranty team, and we can do that from our side. We hope to have that up and going at some point in the near future. So I think that's the last screen for dealer setup. Is there any questions? Let's see.
Shauna, does this cover Hitachi as well?
So, and Hitachi is the ductless equipment, correct?
Correct.
No. So the ductless equipment is handled through the VRF department, and they have their own warranty system. I believe sometime in the future they will migrate into Warranty Navigator, but it won't be under the ducted systems. They'll have their own section for ductless.
Thank you.
Yep.
No other questions at this time.
Okay. So product registration. So this is the basic registration for a piece of equipment. This will just do the standard warranty. It's not going to do the extended warranty. So you can go ahead and switch slide. It's really just entering the unit serial number, date installed. You can do more than one piece of equipment at a time. So if it's a job that had 3 units, put all 3 units. If you have an apartment complex, you can put all the serial numbers for that apartment complex, and then you can identify by physical address which apartment complex that one is tied to, and that gets, as you dive into the screens. The first screen is always the consumer mailing address, and then you get into the physical address. So when the physical address comes up, if there's multiple, then you can either enter like each apartment complex number and then tie the serial number to that apartment complex. But if it's just a general or normal residential and it's one home, you'll put all of them in. We do have a batch setup process that if they have more than 60 units for a job site that needs registered, let us know. We can provide a template that you can fill out, and then we upload them on the backside. So that is something that we do have available, but it's going to be, large mass quantity where we won't do that. If it's like, I would say less than 50, we probably wouldn't do it. Registration should be listed to the end consumer. So we don't want the consumer listed as a builder or a contractor. If it's new construction, they need to wait until the home has sold and has a homeowner. And then when they register, they use the homeowner name and the closing date as the install date. That way, if a home has sat for a few years as a show home, or it's just a hard selling time for housing, the new homeowner is not losing out on the warranty. And then they do have the 1 year from the closing date to purchase an extended warranty. And then the equipment must be registered within the 90 days of install or the closing date to get the 10-year parts upgrade. And that includes the lifetime compressor, lifetime heat exchanger. So that would give them all of the upgrades. But if they go past the 90 days, then it's going to default to the out of the box warranty. I think there was one other thing here. And again, this does not purchase the contract. If you get a yellow flag at the end of this, it means that a unit probably got flagged for proof of install, and we just need an invoice showing the date the unit was sold to the dealer or the date the unit sold to homeowner, or again, new construction, we will want the closing paper showing the closing date. And then the distributor sold to registration. So on that same screen, there is an option at the top that you can add a sold to dealer date. It can only be done with equipment. So yeah, it's here. It'll say distributor branch sold to registration. And then you'll get that next screen. And it'll come up this. You enter the serial number, add product. Just know the unit cannot be registered to the end consumer yet. So then it'll pull up the unit, and then you can add your distributor ID will autofill from your login, and then you'll select what dealer you sold it to and the date you sold the unit to the dealer. So this is really more helpful if you have a unit that's been sitting around in your warehouse for a while. And then you can do this to update. It'll just update the dates on the unit's history. So when they go to register the equipment, then that will help prevent those proof of install flags. The flags do happen on rare occasions as just an audit basis, But this does help prevent a lot of that, especially with older equipment. The product tracking. So this is our one-stop shop for everything warranty related.
Oh, Shanna, one question,
Yeah.
1 second. We did have a question. It said, can homeowners register equipment on the other site?
Yes. So we have our public website, www.upgproductregistration.com. This is open to anybody. So the homeowner can go in there, put in their unit serial numbers, and register the equipment with their information. And then one thing is nice is that wherever in the JCI system that you enter one of our serial numbers and install date and consumer information, it's going to register the equipment. So when you purchase a contract, file a claim, or do a marketing rebate or spiff, and then the public website, and then this, and then warranty navigator website, all of those areas will register the equipment for the standard manufacturer warranty.
And I also wanted to share that if you guys forget upgproductregistration.com, there is a link to that from championhomecomfort.com. So there's a few ways that they can get there. So our consumer facing website, championhomecomfort.com, they can get to that registration site from there as well.
So then the product tracking, go ahead and go to the next slide. So this is like our one-stop shop. It's going to give you all the information that we have in our database on a piece of equipment. So this is what it'll look like. You'll put in the unit serial number, hit submit, and then go ahead and flip to the next screen. This will show you all the information that is available. So the product summary, you have serial number, model number, brand, the status. Status is something that is to watch for if it looks like a unit is no longer has warranty coverage, but it seems like it should. Status can be void or field scrapped. We get reports of units that are stolen, so we have a stolen status, things like that, and that would technically void the warranty out. An active status or a status waiting to be registered, those are active statuses, and warranty claims or registration can be done on those. So we show the date the unit was produced, date it was registered, and the registration source. So here this last October, we added those last two. So if your customer comes back and says, this unit should have 10-year, but the system only shows 5-year parts, you can go back and see the date the unit was registered, and then the registration source will tell you where it was registered. Was it entered on a claim? Was it entered on a contract? Was it entered on the public website? Or it'll say private website, which is Warranty Navigator. And then you can take that date registered, compare it to the install date, and say, yeah, you're beyond the 90 days, and that's why you have 5-year parts. You didn't register it in time. So those were something our customers really wanted, so we had that added this last year. Then you get into distributor and dealer information. So out of our system, we will show who we shipped the unit to, date the unit was shipped, and invoice number. The dealer unit sold to, if it's listed, and that's usually only comes across if we gather that information from, say, a rebate spiff out of marketing, or if it is selected during registration, or if you go into that dealer sold to area, that will populate the dealer ID over to product tracking. So a lot of times you might see equipment that doesn't have a dealer listed, and that's okay. It's not affecting anything warranty related. Then the consumer information and additional products, you get the homeowner or business, install date, and any units that were registered at the same time with that piece of equipment, which is really handy if they come to you and they have the air conditioner serial number but they need the vac coil, but they didn't give you the, the case coil serial number. A lot of times you can find it here without them having to go back to the job site to get it. The warranty terms, standard and extended, so it'll show, what's active, what's not. Any warranty claims, a failed part number with a failed date. If it has a contract number, it'll show you the status of that contract and the start and expiration date of that contract. So there's a lot of information here. It will also show for just you as Win Supply, you will see service letters. Dealers do not see service letters as they do not have access to those. It will also have case numbers, which are warranty vouchers from tech service. And then they'll at the very bottom is a comments box where if we were to void a unit status, then we'll put in our comments as to why. So there's a lot of info there. I always recommend that your counter people, use product tracking first to see if the unit's registered and if it's still under warranty, because those are going to be the two biggest things if you're going to be filing any claims or trying to sell any contracts. From the product tracking screen, and I didn't get that added, there is a print warranty certificate. So you can print that off showing the term coverage, and there's a print registration, which is only available on Warranty Navigator, where you can print where it shows the homeowner's name and address. We do not provide that on the public website because it's, more confidential information. We don't want people just putting in random serial numbers to get homeowner information. So, but you can get that from product tracking as well. You can look at Smart Search from product tracking. If you're trying to look up parts for that piece of equipment, there's a direct link, and you can create a claim from product tracking. So you don't have to back out to the home screen and go to claim entry. You can start it from there. And I know we'll have it it's in the works of creating a contract from product tracking as well. It's just not there yet.
We do have a question.
Sure.
Let me see. Where did they find the warranty certificate when entering a serial number?
So that'll be like, I think it's in the center of the screen. As you scroll down in product tracking, there's a print certificate. And I don't know if it has all the equipment on. I haven't looked at it in a long time. I don't know if it lists all the tied equipment or if it's each individual equipment. And then there's the homeowner printout. And I believe, I'd have to look again. I believe the homeowner printout will show all the equipment registered.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then also, Shauna, if a unit was transferred, would it show that like the unit had their warranty transferred on that product tracking screen as well?
So at this time, no, we don't show any transferred information. It will just update to the new homeowner name and if they had a different mailing address. So we're not showing the transfer information. There are ones that were marked previously where the ownership change had a check mark and it reduced the warranty terms because at that time JCI had made the decision to if the home had sold and the unit had not been transferred, then the warranty was reverted back to the out of the box warranty. That process has stopped. We still need transfers to be completed within 90 days or as soon as possible. And extended warranty contracts have always been transferable. But I'm working with our IT to show like when a unit has been transferred because we need that information on our side as well. That's easily viewable.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good question.
And there's There's a question that says, where do I find an up-to-date list of all current service letters and descriptions?
For current service letters, so Warranty Navigator is only it's gonna show service letters that qualify for that piece of equipment. But some of those service letters have expired. So those are not going to show all the active ones. That would probably be more of a question for technical service. I don't know if they have a place within Solution Navigator that shows more of a list. But I know the product tracking will show the service letters that apply to that piece of equipment. Is the piece of equipment registered?
Are you talking about the question so it says my screen just shows buttons for download product registration or start a claim. When I download the product registrations, I see the 3 units registered, but does not show warranty coverage dates. And I don't have a button for print certificate.
Usually if the print certificate doesn't show up, it means that the unit's not registered yet or doesn't have an install date. So, but yeah, without if you have a serial number, I can look at it.
Okay, let's go to that might be something we want to take off or go to at the end.
Yeah. Right. So, but yeah, usually if the print certificate's not there, I believe it's because the unit's not registered with consumer information or it may be missing an install date. But yeah, definitely something to inquire. Yeah, it's missing an install date. So warranty claim entry. So this tile is when you're ready to create a claim. And then the information needed to submit a claim. So these are items that you really should have ready when you want to start the warranty claim. The unit serial number or the contract number, or if it's an accessory, the part number. The install date of the unit or accessory, the failure date of the unit or accessory, the dealer ID needs to be set up, and then the consumer name and address. One thing nice with extended warranty contracts is going to autofill the consumer information from the contract itself. But if it's just a standard warranty unit, then you'll have to type that information in. And then the new unit serial number or source one part number. So if it's a unit change out that you've gotten approval from through a voucher or a service letter, you'll need the new unit and the date the new unit was installed. And then a source one part number. And then, so we'll get into some of those screens of how that looks. So go ahead with the next slide. So this is the first screen. There's 3 types of claims. You can create a claim using the unit serial number. If the unit is on a contract or the accessory is on a contract, you would start the claim using the contract number. Or the third option is it's a JCI unit, but the warranty has expired. It's a source one replacement part that has failed within the 1-year part warranty. So it's covered by source one. You would check the box. Or if it's an accessory change out, because accessories do not get filed against the equipment, like a heat strip, then you would check the box for accessory. If it's a source one part that was sold for a non-JCI unit that was installed and failed within the source one part warranty, that's when you would check the box as well. So once you enter either of those 3 options, it can only be one option or it'll give an error. Sometimes people start putting serial number and contract number. It's just one or the other. You'll get to this next screen. So this is going to ask for the failed unit information. So we have, if you if you started using a serial number, it's going to recognize the contract number that serial number's tied to. The model number, description, the install date will autofill on equipment that's already registered. If the unit has not been registered yet, you'll have to add the install date. And then it gets into the standard warranty coverage, extended warranty coverage, and then you'll have to enter the failure date. And for extended warranty claims, there's a document control number. That can be anything you want it to be, but it is printed on the dealer's check. So if your dealer does not use Warranty Navigator, when they get the check, they can't look up the claim number. So the document control number is the next thing that they can use to tie back to a specific job. So if you want to use an invoice or PO or a customer name, whatever you can use so that dealer that can't look up claims can tie that back to the job that they worked on. These additional emails are for people that want to follow a claim. If their email is already set up in dealer registration as the distributor email or dealer email, don't put it in here because they're going to get double emails. So this would be somebody else that is not already in the dealer account emails that say it's a high priority claim and they want to follow it. They can put their email in here. Category and reason code can be selected on this first screen. It's not a requirement on the first screen, but if you don't fill it out here, it will be a requirement on screen 4. And really, it's just like category. If it's a compressor, you select compressor. Reason code, there's a couple options. Noise, mechanical, electrical, and you select which option best fits. If you fill it out here on screen 1, it's going to autofill on screen 4 when you add the part. Symptom, problem, cause, and solution. They are not required fields, but we would like to have any feedback of the failure that we can get. And this is for quality. All that information goes to our quality department to figure out, is there something going on that we need to address in the plant? Or is it something that we need to address back with our part suppliers so we make sure we're getting good parts? So we would love to get the information there. It is not a required field, but if they can provide it, that would be great. Then there's an add comments at the bottom where they can add any comments that they want, either to, if the dealer's creating the claim, they can add comments, for your view, or if you're wanting to add comments for my team. Okay, next. Also on screen 1 is the service letter and warranty vouchers. So service letters and vouchers are only available at the distributor level. Again, dealers cannot see these fields. They're not available to them. Service letters and vouchers should not be given to dealers either. It is really a distributor level only. Service letters are for a specific set of units and parts. So it'll be across, like, say, a specific model number and a part number that has failed, and they're giving you a replacement part and maybe some labor. They are allowed beyond the warranty coverage. So if the parts warranty was 5 years, but this unit had a failure that qualified for a service letter, then it does go beyond, it's an exception that goes beyond warranty. So it just gets added with the service letter and comes through to us, and we know that it qualified for that service letter and we pay it. Vouchers are a one-time use provided by tech service. So this would be something that is for like a unit change out. That's maybe not covered by a service letter, because there's a couple service letters out there that cover change outs. But there are requirements and restrictions. So if it didn't qualify for that service letter, then you would have to go to tech service for approval. Or if something that was just out of the ordinary and warranty has expired, or it's more than what warranty would cover based on, say, labor rates and allowances per hour, you can go consult with tech service, and it is at their discretion depending on what the situation is. So the service letters, it has to be in the search box. If it's not in the search box, contact us and let us know so we can figure out why. And then the case number has to be in the Dropbox for it to qualify. So if for any reason either of those do not show up in the search box or the Dropbox, then contact the warranty department so we can help determine what's going on and get it fixed if it qualifies. Okay, next screen. So on screen 2 is the dealer information. So it'll show your distributor ID from your login, and then you select the dealer. You do have the option to register a dealer on this screen. I recommend going to the home screen and registering a dealer through dealer search and registration. There is a time lag. So it's not going to set up that dealer account immediately because we have multiple systems in the background that are creating that dealer account. So I always recommend just doing it through the home screen, dealer search and registration, and setting up the dealer there. But you do have this option here if you want to use it. Just know there is a time lag. Once you select the dealer, it's going to pull up their dealer name, address, their standard labor rate, their extended labor rate. If it's an extended warranty claim, it will require their dealer email address, which if it's on their dealer account, it should autofill to the claim. And then the dealer reference number and branch reference number, those are just numbers for you guys to use. You can track claims that way through our search features. So when supply cannot be listed as a dealer. And so if your claims come through, they will be rejected and they do get caught up in audits. And then if the unit serial number is listed on a valid plan, extended warranty, the dealer has to be an extended warranty dealer. So if you have a unit that has the contract, but your dealer is only set up as a standard warranty dealer, that dealer will either have to become an extended warranty dealer, or when they were at the job site, they needed to say, no, we don't handle contracts. You'll need to contact somebody else. Because they have to be an extended warranty dealer to file a claim against an extended warranty contract, even if the part is still under standard warranty or the labor is still under standard warranty. It's just the setup, because we can't pay them part markup unless they're an extended warranty dealer. Do make sure that their address is correct. Hopefully dealers are watching this as they create claims. If they see that their address is wrong, they need to notify you right away so you can update that in the dealer search and registration so their checks go to the right place. And and then the dealer email. Do we have any questions at this point?
Greg, you have your hand up. Did you have a question?
It's Gary. I do have a question, but it's pertaining to an issue that I'm having with the warranty claim entry right there that you just went through. I had filed a warranty as a part without a serial number, just like you had told the third option. The response back to me was to refile the claim with the unit serial number. That serial number is expired. The part is actually under the JCI Source 1-year warranty. However, I keep getting it administration comment back saying refile with JCI unit serial number, but whenever I did that, it was declined immediately, and I can't seem to get anywhere from this point forward. I did add a comment into the claim, but where do I go from here?
Okay. So there at that startup right there, like you said, a claim entry with the checks box, you're taking the right route. When you get past the checkbox on the next screen, there's a box for serial number, and that's where you would enter the JCI unit serial number. The system's smart enough to recognize whether the JCI serial number is still active warranty or expired warranty based on the part number that you're entering. So it'll say, okay, you're entering in a capacitor and the parts warranty has expired. So it's going to allow it as a source one part replacement claim. There are specific parts that we do require the JCI serial number on those type of claims. That would be like coils, heat exchangers, control boards, programmable motors, and there's general upgrade kits, and I think one other part. It's parts that are only manufactured for JCI equipment. They can't be used on other manufacturers' product lines. So we want the history tied to the unit. But if you give the information to Robin or Jessica, whichever rep yours is, and then we can kind of figure out what's going on from there. If you're getting an error when you put the serial number in, then we'll just take that off to the side and get you fixed up.
Okay.
But that
where
is,
did you say
yeah.
you put the serial number in at? Because mine doesn't show that.
Yeah, so when you click on claim entry and then you click the checkbox and continue, then at the very top box on the left, it says serial number. It's not a required field, but it's there. That's where you would type in the JCI unit serial number.
Okay.
And then put in your part number.
Okay.
And then your the date the part was installed and then the date the part failed. And it looks at that. Yeah.
I do. Okay. I do see that now. However, since I've already filed the claim, how do I go back and edit that? Because I'm not able to edit that. Do I just need to start over?
Yeah, you'll just have to start a new claim because we can't change the type of claim that you already created.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Donna, can you go back one more screen? I just wanted to make sure that I understand. And one more, sorry, one more. So how did you get there? Okay, so you went to spelled unit info. Okay, so you're under parts. I just missed that one. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, it's hard to capture every scenario in a training. So sometimes there's going to be more specific like that, where it's like his scenario. It's a different screen than what this is going to provide. But unless you guys want like a 3-hour training guide, and I know we're already at our time now, but for those type of things, we're always willing to help. If you have any questions or you're having a hard time filing a claim, please reach out to us and we can provide you screenshots and walk you through that process. So the claims let's go back to screen 3 real quick. So this is the consumer information. It is required. The consumer cannot be the dealer or the builder or contractor or wind supply. This needs to be the end consumer. So we will reject claims if the dealer is listed as the homeowner. If it's commercial, and I know you guys don't do a whole lot of commercial, but there are some, it's going to be like if the unit's installed at a Kohl's, this would be where you put Kohl's, not the contractor that did the work. The extended warranty claim will autofill the information from the contract, which is a nice feature. If that's old information, they need to go in and they need to do a transfer on that contract, so that we can get the system updated with the correct information. And if the unit hasn't been registered already, this information is going to register the unit. Now, if they're within the 90 days from the install date, it will get upgraded with all the parts, compressor, and heat exchanger upgrades. But if the claim is filed after the 90 days, then they won't, and they'll just get the standard out of the box. Okay, screen 4. So this is where it breaks out, and hopefully I can get this right to you guys. There are like 3 types of claims when you're coming this route. So the first one I wanted to show you is a repair labor claim. It means that no parts are listed. Maybe they went out, they found a refrigerant leak, and they brazed it, fixed it. They didn't have to replace the coil. It's just a repair. we do require the work order, but since there's no part, when you get to this screen where it says, do you want to add equipment? That auto defaults to no, because that would be a unit change out. And then it says, do you want to add parts to this claim? That one is always open because it's the most common type of claim. In this case, you would select no to close that field. And then you'll hit the next and you'll go into the labor allowance screen. So then the second type of claim is when you have a unit change out claim. That's where on that first option, do you want to add equipment? You would select yes. It will open that field. And then you'll enter the new unit serial number and the date the new unit was installed. Click validate. It's going to pull the unit model number, description, and pricing. And then the next screen. So the next screen shows the third type of claim where you're adding parts. So say you don't have a unit change out, they added a part, you'll leave the first section no, and then you'll come in here and you, when you click on new part number, it's going to pop open a box for a search feature. You just start typing in the part number and it's going to find it'll match up. So you select the part number that was replaced. If your failed part number is different than the new, please change the failed part number. Because, we want the most accurate information in the system. Like if they say had a Regal motor and they replaced it with a Broad Ocean, we want that data. Because how it would look now is, okay, their new one was a Broad Ocean, the failed one was a Broad Ocean. So if the failed part number is different, please update that information. It's just an autofill because in a lot of cases, it usually is the same part number. For compressors, you'll have a failed part serial number. So that's the failed compressor serial number and the new compressor serial number fields. For compressor claims, this is required. We need that information as it ties back to the unit, and we're verifying because we send all that data back to the compressor manufacturers. So we have to have the valid compressor serial numbers. Here's where those category and reason codes come back to play. So category, compressor, reason code, say compressor mechanical. One thing to note, these category and reason codes here very soon are going to be updated. We worked with Tech Service. The current ones are very old lists that we've had for a very long time. So we have worked with Tech Service. We have provided new lists with a little bit different breakdowns. So here coming up, you will see these options kind of change a little bit, but hopefully it'll be more helpful in determining what was the reason with the compressors. And again, we take that information back to our quality department. You have an area to leave comments if you would like. If this was the part that caused the failure, there's a checkbox for that. It can only be used once on the claim. If you have multiple parts, it's just select the one that was the main part causing failure. And then the disposition. So you're going to see two types come up. Most of them are going to be this hold part for 30 days after credit memo was received before you scrap the part. And then there's the to be returned. Now, Wind Supply is not required to return compressors, but we may ask you for data tags if the dollar value is over 750. We'll want that data tag. Picture. Our warranty return center, it asks for parts back that they want here. They will test them and they provide that information back to the part supplier. So a claim may auto mark the to be returned, and then there'll be a box open up to the right. And that will give the return instructions. And contacting I think it's CWE now, something. And it's our warranty return center. And you just contact them and they will provide the RMA to ship the part back to them. And Yep, and then we can go to the next screen. So that would be adding a part. You can add as many parts as needed. So if they did a compressor, a filter dryer, a capacitor, and a contactor all at the same time, list each part. We want one claim per failure. So not one claim per part. So if it all happened during that failure, put it all on one claim. Claims are filed against the extended warranty contracts. They do receive part markup. So they'll get a box here when they enter the part number. It'll say dealer part cost. This is the cost from Wind Supply to that dealer, excluding taxes or any shipping, anything like that. So it is strictly part cost. Anything over $250, we do require the invoice from Wind Supply to the dealer, verifying that cost because we are paying them the markup. Okay, next screen. So once you get the parts information, if there is a part or unit change out and you move to the next screen, it's labor and allowances. So the first picture for labor and allowance, this is what it would look like if you did not have a part. So if you selected the no and no because it was just a repair, it's going to open up under labor this repair type drop box. And it has about 5 or 6 options under here for different type of leaks, or there's an other. Please be aware if you select other, you're going to get 1 hour. And so if it's a leak and they repaired it, residential gets 4 hours. So you don't want to just put other on everything. We're going to question it. And anything that doesn't have a part, we are going to ask for work orders. So just be aware of that. They will have to attach the work order to the claim because we have to know what they did. What if it's a leak? Where was the leak and how was it repaired? If it's something else, then we have to have the work order for whatever work they actually perform. Again, warranty does not cover diagnostic or maintenance. So if it's something along that lines, we're going to reject that claim. And then if it's not a repair labor claim and you have a part or a unit, you're going to get this second screen picture where it's going to open up the labor. It's going to give, you can put it in by dollar value or number of hours, and then you can select the repair, the refrigerant type. We will have the new refrigerant listed in there as soon as that's launched. We're ready for that. And then it's based by how many pounds. Please be aware, we do not cover refrigerant bottles. I've seen those on claims. So those will be caught in audits and rejected. Crane is covered by standard labor warranty. Anything over $350, we do require the crane invoice. But crane is not covered by contracts. So it's just standard labor. If you guys ever have a compressor that has core in it, which is be commercial, please let me know. I would love to see one. I haven't seen one in 3 years. Travel is allowed through extended warranty. You just put in the mileage. So travel based one way. So 0 to 29 miles, they get half an hour of their extended labor rate. 30 miles or more is a full hour. And anything listed 30 or more, we do verify that with Google Maps. Other is a miscellaneous field. You would have to have a service letter or warranty voucher to allow any dollar allowance under other. Non-JCI part. So standard warranty units do not allow non-JCI part. You would have to have a service letter or voucher that's going to allow a non-source one part. Extended warranty allows one non-source one part per claim. So if they did get one part from the local hardware store or wherever, they can list it, the dollar value. We do pay markup on that, but they will have to attach the invoice of where they got the part, showing the part and the part cost. And then again, we have another comments box section that they can use. Let's see. Okay, and then let's go one more screen. So credit summary is going to be, once you have everything entered, get to this final screen. The area in white table is your standard warranty totals, and that's what's going to pay when supplied through a credit memo. The gray section is the extended warranty totals, and that is what is going to pay the dealer that on an extended warranty claim, and we will pay them by check from JCI directly.
In a bag.
So your credit memos run daily. The checks are cut twice a month, usually around the 5th and the 22nd. We do have under this documentation area, there are these kind of yellow orangish flags. So depending on the parts or items that are listed, you know, this is just helpful tips of like what we may be asking for, where you can go ahead and upload those documents to your claim, and then we don't have to hold up your claim asking for it. So those are very helpful. I can't guarantee that it's going to catch everything correctly. So our processors may catch something that this doesn't flag for. But this is going to usually have the most common ones. And then you have the upload button to attach. You can attach however many documents. One note I would say on attachments, there is a character limit on your file name. Stay under 64 characters, and that's including like the .pdf. So if you have a very long file name, find a way to shorten it down because it won't take it. And then just be aware that this is just at a submittal. Then it's going to go to review. So these amounts may change when it goes through my processors. If it's extended warranty and they listed 4 hours, but they're allowed 5 hours, we're going to up them to 5 hours. Or if they put 4 hours, but they're only allowed 2, we're going to decrease it. Or if they put 30 miles, but it was actually 5 miles, we're going to decrease the travel. So these are not, at this time, I mean, this is giving you an idea, but it's not a set in stone, a dollar value that is actually being paid out. The only one we can always guarantee is part cost, because that's set on your account in our system. It pulls out what your part cost is. So at this point, you can save it. A save puts the claim in hold status. It creates a claim number, but say you're not ready, you want to get some documentation, and then you can go back into that claim, attach or finish up whatever you need to and submit it. Or if you're ready to go, you got everything there, submit it, you'll get a claim number, and then it will go through our system validation. Some claims get auto approved depending on what they are. And then other claims get held pending for review, and those go to my processor's daily report. Okay, so that's the last screen for claim entry. Are there any questions there?
John, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, so mine has more to deal with product registration. So I have a customer contractor who wants me to file a warranty and they registered the equipment homeowner's first name only and only the city. So is there anything I can do on my end to edit that?
Did you get that, Shauna?
No, I didn't. It was really broken up.
Can you repeat it, John? Sorry.
Yeah. So a contractor registered the equipment, but they registered it as only the homeowner's first name.
I think you're still cutting out. I don't think everybody can hear you.
Only
Okay,
the first
never mind.
name.
Yeah.
Or you can use the chat. I would say if it sounds like a unit's registered incorrectly.
Yes.
If a unit's registered incorrectly, then we just need the invoice from dealer to the consumer showing the correct owner name and address with the equipment serial numbers, and then we can update that. We can fix it on our end.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and then if it's new construction job, we'll ask for the closing papers because it's the only thing, there won't really be an invoice involved. But we can't take the wind supply to dealer invoice because it doesn't have homeowner information. Generally, it doesn't. Or if it does, sometimes the dealer could install it at a different home than what was originally planned. So it's always dealer to consumer invoice.
Gotcha. So there's nothing I can do to edit that.
Okay, awesome.
Joe, you have your hand up?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I've got several that I even had a voucher and put the voucher in place and everything, and I've got like 4 or 5 that are never went through for some reason. They always reject them. I just turned in one yesterday and it said it rejected the labor, and the service department approved 4 hours of time to change out a unit. So is the best thing to do is go back in and resubmit them, or I've emailed and asked for help and haven't got any response. So
Okay. So to answer your question on resubmitting, no, unless you're told by the warranty department, because most of the time we can fix a claim, but depending on what it is. So if it's just a denial for whatever reason, then yeah, we want to review and see. I'll have to see why the processor denied it, and then the voucher itself. If you said you have a couple, please get with your rep. So, either Jessica or Robin or Emily, Randy, whoever handles your account, get them your list of claim numbers and they can send them to me so I can review them and see like what's going on. Because if the voucher says labor, then we should be paying labor. But it is determined how the voucher is written. So yeah, we'll get that fixed up, or if there's something that needs changed, we'll get it taken care of.
yeah, they're approved for new units replacement. I had a MM9 furnace that they sent the wrong orifices out, and it sooted up and should have been approved. Shouldn't have been a big deal to get that approved, and we've got nothing on it. So I would give them the voucher number when I turned the claim in, and I've emailed a couple of times asking for help trying to figure out what I did wrong, but it has to be something I've entered wrong, I assume, but sheesh. Yeah, it's kind of adding up around here.
Yeah, let's get those out of your way. I know our department email, I think they're like a week out. It's we're starting to show kind of the start of the busy season. So, but I'll get that list from whoever you're working with. They'll send it to me so we can get those straightened out and cleared up for you.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll forward them to Emily, and like I say, if it's something I'm doing wrong, I want to know, so I can get it right. But it sure seemed like I entered them correctly to me, but I don't know.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Sorry about that. All right, so we'll continue on, and this area is definitely, I know I've run over the time.
That's okay. This is important.
Okay, so sorry about that. So warranty claim status. So this is going to be really huge for you guys and in your claims that have been created. So go ahead, your next slide. So when you go to warranty claim status tile, you're going to get the general search, which you can look up serial number, claim number, or contract number. Then there's an advanced search option. With advanced search, then you can break it down into criteria. You can have up to 3 criteria. These drop boxes will be, you can select date ranges. You can select claim status. So if you want to go in and view all of your denied claims for the last year, you can put that criteria in search, and it's going to give you all of your claims during that time period that are in denied status. If you want to do pending for documentation, those would be ones that my processors have held up asking for something. So there's a lot of, you can get in here and play around. I use this a ton. I'm the auditor for the department as well. So I use this a lot when I'm trying to do specific audits and I'm kind of drilling down, searching for some things. It's super helpful. You're not going to mess anything up, and just get in there and just play with your options, and then you can pull reports from this. So if you go ahead with the next slide. So to pull reports, so here you would put in like your status, and then like I put in the claim submitted date. I wanted to look for all pending for documentation within the month of, at this time, month of May. It's going to pull all my options. And then there's an export button right where this red box is. And that's where you can export that. And it just dumps all the data from the claim into an Excel file. So you can use that Excel file to filter, sort. You know, if you want to pull all of them and then filter them down by a specific dealer, or in your criteria, you can narrow your criteria to include dealer ID if you're looking for one specific dealer. So there's a lot of features in here that are really helpful. These ones that say document required, where it says yes, distributor/branch action, that means we have held the claim up and have sent the claim back to you to attach the document and resubmit. So those are important things to watch for. Some of those, if you send a claim back to a dealer asking them to attach a document, it will say yes, dealer action. So the dealer has to open the claim, attach whatever you guys have asked from them, and then when they resubmit, it comes back to you. You can make sure they got what you asked for, and then you can submit the claim on back to, onto us. So there's a lot of movement going on here to watch for, because the claim may be in your hands waiting for you to resubmit the claim back to us. If we've asked you for documentation, then when you resubmit that claim, the status will change from pending for documentation to requested documentation provided. And that pops over onto my processor's daily report. And so it gets worked first thing in the morning. We try to take care of the oldest claims first, so those claims will always pop at the top of our report. And then you can go to the next screen. So these are most common reasons why we will pend or deny a claim. Again, when supply is not required to return compressors, please be patient. If our processors accidentally flag one of your claims for return, it's just because your claims are mixed in with all of our other customers. We try to do our best to recognize, when supply, apart from some of our other customers that are required to return compressors, but if we accidentally hit one and it says return to Copeland, just send us an email or send the claim back saying we're not required to return. It's just, we're all human. There's always a little mistake here and there, and we'll get it fixed up. It's not a big issue. If we ask for invoices, we are being very specific. We want invoices. We cannot accept acknowledgments, packing slips, sales orders, warehouse release. I cannot take a handwritten letter from a dealer saying, this is what this is the part that they purchased. I get all kinds of stuff. You'd be surprised. We do have all of this information in our FAQ sheet in the publications tab on Warranty Navigator. A very more detailed breakdown for pending claims and denied claims. And then there's a section at the bottom of parts that are not covered by warranty. Granted, we don't have everything on there. It's kind of a list that we're continuing to build on just because there's so many parts out there. And then we want to make sure, with tech, that, we have the right information as well. Some little tidbits at the bottom. Pending for review status means it's waiting for waiting to be processed by JCI. So that's my processors. And then pending for documentation And that just means we need more information from Win Supply. You can open the claim from warranty claim status, and there's on every line item, there is an admin comments box. That's where our notes will be at from our processors. There's a general comments box on each line item. A lot of people don't know you can go into a claim and you can edit the parts section, and that will open up the comments boxes on those. You can actually add bill of lading information on a claim that has a compressor, but in your guys' case, you don't need to add bill of lading. So I would show you that trick, but you don't really need it. So here's some reasons why we pin for an invoice or we pin for a work order. Invoices on extended warranty claims if the part cost is $250 or greater, or if the unit is flagged for proof of install, or if we have a registration issue with a piece of equipment, maybe the unit got registered to a builder or a contractor and we want to fix the registration. Pending work order, that's going to be that repair labor claim where no parts listed. We got to know what they did. Compressor data plate. So the data plate is required on the compressor cost of $750 or more. Or if the serial number we see doesn't match the nomenclatures that we have from LG, GMCC, Copeland, Bristol, and Danfoss, if it's something that we can't match up to, we'll ask for a picture so we can verify we get the right number. Pending crane invoice required on 350 or greater. And then some of the reasons why we pin for tech service, multiple failures in life of unit. That would be like if you open up product tracking and it just seems like there's a slew of failures on this piece of equipment. Major component failures within the life of equipment. So if we've got, say, 2 compressors failing within 6 months, or maybe we're into a 3rd compressor in the life of the unit. My team is not technical. We don't know how the unit works. That's why we work very closely with tech service, because these guys know exactly what your guys are doing out on the job, and they know if there's any issues or how to troubleshoot. Denied claims. A lot of times we don't deny them unless there's just something wrong. So a unit warranty is expired. It's a duplicate claim. An item's not covered by warranty. Maybe the claim's been filed incorrectly and it needs to be refiled the right way. And then field installed accessory parts. This has been a big one. TXVs have been kind of an issue where they're getting filed against, it's a field installed TXV, it's getting filed against the equipment. Really, it's an accessory. Only TXVs that are factory mounted should be filed against the unit. Anything else would be considered an accessory. Thermostats, electric heat kits, those kind of things are all accessory claims. There's a lot of information in there. But again, we do have that FAQ sheet that it gives even more breakdown detail and it may answer a lot of questions that you guys have if you're getting a claim that's pending for documentation or denied status. Okay, so that ends the claims area. Let's see, Robin, did we have any questions?
Yeah, there's some questions. The latest one, checked the box and went in to file the accessory claim. I got down to where I put the part number in and an error box popped up and says serialized coverage already exists for the selected accessory. Please file serialized claim.
Okay, so what's the part number being entered? Is it a regular part? Is it a compressor? Is it a heat exchanger?
Sharon, if you want, you can unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna put you on hold for a second. All right. Sorry, I was on the phone. The part number is S1-1 TV as in Victor, M, B as in boy, A1.
Okay, are you selecting accessory change out or add part?
I did the check mark,
Okay,
okay, and then went in and it doesn't really ask me, or accessory or
You're fine.
part number is where I put the part number in.
okay. And are you entering a unit serial number in the box above the part number?
Yes,
Okay, is this a field installed TXV or a factory mounted?
this is, I'm not real sure. Let me see if I can.
If you've got the serial number, I can look it up real quick.
Okay, the serial is W2K 1480012.
Okay, so like
Jacoby, I'll call you back. Okay, thanks.
yeah, the model number. Oh, I don't like these ones.
Because I had originally done a warranty and it came back and told me I needed to refile as an accessory.
Right. So in that case, you need to remove the JCI serial number from your claim and just list the part number.
Okay.
Because your unit still has parts warranty. So that's what it's confusing the system. It's like, well, it has parts warranty. Why are you filing it this way? Where in this case, a field installed accessory would be, you wouldn't tie it to a unit. So you leave the unit serial number blank.
Okay. Okay, I didn't realize that's what it was.
Yeah, and then there's something, it's just a programming issue. When you get to screen 4, where it says accessory change out or add part, with these S1-1 TVMs, you have to list them as parts and not change outs. But everything else works as a change out except for these TXVs because they're both factory mounted and field installed. So the system recognizes them as a part. So just when you get there, just leave accessory change out no, and then go down to add parts where it's open and then put the part number in again.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
that should work.
I will work on that then. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. So, yeah, from our understanding between and granted, we could have something wrong. I don't see those models very often. From our understanding with TXVs, if a model number has an X, it means it does not have a factory mounted TXV and should be filed as an accessory. If the model number does not have the X, then it's factory mounted and gets filed against the unit. It kind of sounds like it would be backwards. The new models, if it does not have a factory mounted TXV, it has XX. So I keep thinking of XX as no TXV, like double whammy. That's the information, the easiest that we've been able to identify without having to waste time going into Smart Search on every claim. But if we have that incorrect, please feel free and, reach back out to us and say, no, this should be against the unit, and we'll double check it with Smart Search. Try to do as much as I can to not waste our processors' time so we can keep your claims moving. If we have to look at Smart Search on every claim, that will just slow everything down really bad. But any questions there or issues, please reach out and let us know.
Shauna, I
Okay.
think we're gonna actually hang on to the purchase extended warranty and maybe do a part 2 session.
Sure. Yeah, totally get it. It's a lot of information.
Yeah, and we appreciate everybody hanging on. Does anybody have any questions that they want to ask Shauna now?
Let's review. Robin, are there any open questions in the chat box or in the Q&A? Because I did notice that there's a chat and Q&A.
Yes. I think we got most of them. We usually do not charge the dealer for the part on a CP. Entry asks for dealer cost and proof of invoice. I have been putting in 1 cent. Is that a good way to bypass that? Invoicing dealer is just more paperwork and my dealers are not looking for a markup.
Well, from what I know is that with the extended warranty for the invoice, we do want the invoice showing what you would have charged the dealer, but then zeroed out. So that way they do get the markup. But I know we've taken them as like the total 0 because it's been a wash, but it gives us like what you would have sold the dealer to if you would have charged them at the counter. Kelly dealt with that a little bit more than I did. I know she had a better way to explain that. Then I can get that feedback from her. But yeah, I just remember it being that if your invoice total 0, that's fine. As long as we had the part on an invoice, it was showing the cost it would have been sold to the dealer, but then you know, in a way, wiped it out. So your total is 0 because you're not really charging them. We need that invoice. And that, again, that's if the dealer part cost is going to be over $250. We do want them to get their markup because we don't want them trying to pass that on to a homeowner. Honestly, I hadn't even seen any claims with a penny in there. So that's new to me. But I'm not in the report every day.
Joe, did you still have a question? Your hand's still up.
No, I'm good. You answered my question earlier, so.
Okay, awesome. Anybody else?
Hey, Robin, it's Stephanie. I know that we've got a couple of one-offs that I probably need to get with you on after this call. So, just to make sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then if any of you guys have questions on claims that you've had sitting out there or something, just get them, get back with your rep, and then they can send them on to me. I'll see what's going on with them. So we'll try to get them taken care of.
And Sean, I know that there's a way for us to, we communicate as an internal team as far as how far the backlog is. Is there a way that the local companies can see what the warranty backlog is so that they know, hey, I filed a warranty 2 days ago, it's not been settled yet? Or is that just from us communicating to them?
So it used to be Lee was sending out some warranty letters with updates. That's when we had a really bad backlog. Here, the last couple months, we've been 24 to 48 hour turnaround on warranty claims submitted. So, we've been staying up pretty current with them. We are starting to see the increase in volume. So I would say the turnaround we're still within, I would know, at least 48 hours turnaround on claims.
Okay, that's cool. Good to know. I just didn't know if there was a way that we communicated it.
Right. Yeah, I haven't I think we're a week out on emails. So I know that takes a little bit longer, but we've been averaging between 150 to 200 emails a day. It's just a lot of emails that we get are status requests, which a lot of people can look up, on their own on claims or contracts. So that really drags our processors down. So if it's something, really simple, you can look up on claims, please, use that. Everything's there. But if something doesn't make sense, then please, reach out to us. And then we don't have a team big enough to support your contractors or dealers. So please don't send them our way, because we'll send them back to you. We don't have the team size to handle dealers. And a lot of times their questions, you guys may have the answer to help them as well. So, so that helps us if we can keep dealers out of our email, because that really slows us down as well.
Okay, well, I think we are going to set up a part 2 session to go over purchase extended warranty at a later time. But again, we appreciate everybody hanging on extra long for this. This is definitely important information. If there are any other questions, I put in the chat that I'm going to send out a recap email with this recording. Any other collateral that we discussed, I will include in that email as well. And you're always welcome to reach out to your RAM or any one of us on the Champion team and ask any questions at any time.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Robin.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Robin, Shannon,
Thanks,
team.
guys. Have a good day.